What's up, Matt?
Yo,
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing just fine. Sorry,
Cool.
just check my phone quickly. All right. By the way, I'm just gonna call you Matt for this interview. Are you cool with that? It's easy.
No, you have to know how to say my name right.
It's easier to say than dBPony.
dBPony.
I don't know why I always mess it up. I don't know. I don't
Just
know.
say DB.
dBPony. Fine. Did it. Jeez. God.
You can call me Matt. I don't care.
By the way, audience, if you want to ask Matt a question, go to our Tumblr at bronybreakdown.tumblr.com, which I will link in the chat right now. So if the chat can be paused for a moment.
There you go.
There you go.
Thanks, Matt. All right, guys. Well, Matt here is a good friend of ours, and he also is an awesome musician. Came up with songs like Lessons. And, Matt, you're relatively new to the fandom. How long have you been around for?
I entered. I officially entered the fandom at around the end of January, the beginning of February. I haven't really busted out with my music till the end of August. So.
All right, so you've been around for a while, but you didn't really trek forward with your work until then. All right, got it.
Yeah.
Now, when you first joined the fandom, did you ever really expect that your music would have a big part of it, play a big part of it? Or
No.
No?
In fact, I had planned to keep my music as far away as possible from the fandom.
Good luck.
Why is that?
Yeah. Well, because I was working an overnight job and I was doing volunteer EMT work at the time, and I was kind of pursuing a different path in my life. But then I got hired at a music store, and that spark for the creativity kicked in again. And I figured at some point, well, I may as well start writing music about ponies because I think it would be kind of cool. And then that kind of happened.
Were you, okay, how about this? When you first became a Brony, was there any reluctance towards actually calling yourself that label?
No, it wasn't really anything for me. I mean, as someone who has a lot more to worry about in life, the whole the fact of picking up a new hobby to me wasn't something that really worried me.
Hey, one second. I'm going to restart the call because you're a bit laggy, so I'm going to restart the call.
Actually, let's have Matt host the call, because honestly, I think it is your end, Saber, because I haven't had this happen with anybody else.
Must be me. All right, Matt, you cool with hosting the call?
Yeah, cool.
All right, cool. I'm going to end the call. Call right back. Wait a second. Paleo was the one who was hosting that call. That bastard. All right. How about
Okay.
You also sound a lot clearer now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
that? Go figure. Maybe it was me.
It might be because you're live streaming at the same time.
Skype, live stream, Google, everything. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. All right, back on track. So tell me. Actually, you know what? No, back on track. You're talking about feeling reluctant, perhaps, against Bronies, the label, and you said not really.
Yeah, no. I mean, I have been part of other fandoms, and I viewed coming into the Brony community the same way as I did the other communities. It's a hobby, nothing that would really have a direct impact on my life that would affect my work ethic or anything. I mean, it didn't change the viewpoint, the views that everybody else had on me. So I figured it's whatever. So.
Actually, no. Before we get any further, I'm gonna play one of your songs just so people know exactly what your work is and what you do.
All right, sure thing.
All right. All right, guys. One moment. Just so you all know, this is what he came up with. We'll play just a few seconds of this.
So I said I wanted miles.
I'm just getting to the lyric part here. Here we go.
Hey, Scootaloo, isn't it awesome that we're back in school again? Oh, and that we can sit next to each other? And Shirley is our teacher again? And she's like the best teacher ever! Hey, Scootaloo! Hey, Scootaloo! Oh, that time of year in a place that I hate. Oh boy, when's my life gonna change? For me.
I'm gonna pause it right now just so we can save some time. But yeah, one cool thing about your music, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you actually play the instruments. It's not like you get it from the computer. You actually like legitimately record your playing. Am I correct?
Yes.
And that's not easy, right?
It's not. I mean, once you've been doing it for a while, you kind of get a hang of it. But it is something that I had to go through a lot of trial and error to successfully get kind of good at.
You want to know what I want to hear about is how you and Paleo reconnected as friends. I've heard that story once before. I want to hear it again because it sounded like it was pretty ironic and how you all found each other. Y'all want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yes. Me and Paleo have known each other for a very long time. We've known each other since about mid-2006, probably.
Yeah.
We had spoken a lot during that time, but a couple of years later, we kind of lost touch. And around the time we lost touch, I guess My Little Pony kind of around started coming out, and it had been 2 years. And I had seen his name floating around, and I was like, "Oh, look at my boy!" So I had, after having gotten into the Brony fandom, and I had started, drawing up all my art again. I had seen him on DeviantArt, and I was like, "Oh, let me drop him a comment." So I did, and he was just like, "Wait a minute, are you who I think you are?" And I said yes, and he just was overjoyed, and we got connected again, and now we are pretty much really close.
Yes.
Small internet.
Let me see if I can find a screen cap of that, because I had it here earlier.
Yeah. Might even have it on my Imgur.
The Imager.
The Imgur.
Imgur.
Imgur. People pronounce that in like different ways, like Imgur, Imgur.
Jurimarg.
I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's like I don't have it on me, so it's up to the fate is in your hands, Paleo.
We're in trouble.
No. I could have sworn I had it here. Maybe I'm just like overlooking it because I'm looking at my archive my archive on Tumblr.
Why is Apple taking over everything?
New Apple products.
Mm-hmm.
I forget it, but
Yeah.
it's a little thing that we had exchange.
Now, I'm gonna ask a few more questions before we get to the Tumblr ones. Where do you see yourself and your music in the Brony fandom here? Like, where do you want to take it, or what are your motives for that?
Whew. I'm having as much fun with it as I possibly can. At the same time, learning new methods and kind of putting in new styles and trying out new things. It's interesting because I'm kind of thinking the mindset of the characters when I'm writing this music, so if anything, I'd like to take this to animation someday. I'm a very big fan. I was a very big fan of cartoons back when I was even younger, and I just kind of molded music and my love for animation together, and I don't know, I would love to do music for animation at some point, aka have Dan Ingram's job, so... would definitely would like to do something like that in the future.
Let's say if you can pick a show right now and make music for it, like a cartoon show or any show, what would you like?
A show right now, actually, and this is like a recent kind of a development sort of thing, but I've been watching a little more Dan Versus recently, and I think the music in that is actually kind of appealing. I totally would probably jump on that.
Not Dragon Ball? Because, I mean, you make music that literally should belong in Dragon Ball. I'm just saying.
Dragon Ball? But hey, that's another thing, actually. Anime music, I feel like there's such a huge contrast in between anime music and American cartoons, because I feel like they throw these professional musicians in a studio and they're like, yo, just make a blasting pop rock tune or an awesome funk song, and they just do it and it sounds amazing. So actually, if any anime, I would totally be on board for that.
Really? Anime music is definitely on higher standards than Western?
Yes, in a little bit of a way, because I just think that I think the Japanese, for some reason, have a lot more. They had higher energy in their music for some reason, like the end credits, and you're just like, oh my god, it's so happy and poppy, and you get that cute girl singing the Japanese lyrics. I have no clue what they're saying, but it's awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, unless I'm wrong, anime still was very, 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 very popular in Japan. So, more cartoons, more, I guess, requirement for music from people who make it. So, yeah, I can see there being a bigger audience over there.
Trigun and Cowboy Bebop, in my opinion, they both have the best soundtracks. So.
Ooh, what if you can make music for like Miyazaki films?
Ooh, I'd love that.
What was your first instrument you ever played?
Whew. That depends how you phrase the question. When I was really, really young, I was playing piano, but not in the way that most people think. Like, oh, jump on pianos to take lessons. I was like dibble dabbling with all the little presets. My first real instrument of choice that I started playing seriously was the bass guitar.
Huh.
And that was when I was 15 years old.
Now, did it ever like dawn upon you as like this is what I want to do the rest of my life?
Yes and no. I didn't know really what I wanted to do while I was kind of pursuing my bass guitar pursuits. I had known while playing bass guitar that yes, this is the instrument I want to play because it's awesome, and then I just picked up instruments gradually from there. So I guess you could say as like the years went on, it became more and more of a thing I wanted to do because after a while I felt like it was the only thing I can do.
All right, cool. Paley, you got any questions for Matt here before we open up to Tumblr?
I've been looking over the Tumblr questions and been pinging a few out. So I guess we can go ahead and go to that.
Let's crack it up.
Here's a question: which musicians do you look up to, Brony and otherwise?
There's a couple of bands that no one's ever heard of. There's a band called Big Kid. That band is a really big inspiration for me. Just because the vocalist has such a calming, soothing style, and because the music has these chord progressions and these melodies that mix together that just sound very pleasant. I also kind of look up to Adam Young a little bit, which is the guy from Owl City. He has some really neat little pop tunes that I actually really like. As far as the Brony fandom goes,
Myself.
yeah, myself.
Me.
No, there's been a couple of songs that have maybe inspired me on a small level, but I don't know. I honestly can say I've never really looked up to a Brony musician just yet. I've always thought they've created great stuff, and I've always thought that it was very creative, but there was never one musician that I gushed over just yet. So yeah, I mean, as far as the Brony community goes, I mean, if I had a favorite musician, but I don't know. That's a totally different question.
Yes. Anyway, related to your music, this is asked by Ninja Dragon Warrior 69.
That's hot.
Not 96.
That's hot.
Ooh.
dBP. dBP. What made you want to start out with making songs for the CMC?
Those characters are the most relatable. I love the main six, I really do, and I think we can all take a little part of their personalities and relate it to ourselves in a way, but I'm getting to that point in my life where I almost regret wishing that I was grown up. And looking at the Cutie Mark Crusaders and the little adventures that they go on kind of remind me of how awesome it was to just kind of be that innocent and that young. And the feelings are still so relatable to me that it's fresh enough for me to look at the Cutie Mark Crusaders and kind of look at life through their eyes and relate to them in that way. So that's why I started writing music about them. Oh Sweetie Belle had a bit of a different approach than the last two songs that I've written about the Cutie Mark Crusaders, but in the same way it kind of applied that little like high school or middle school crush that you may have had on somebody. So yeah, they were just relatable characters, and I love them a lot. I think they're great as characters of the show. They're pretty much one of the highlights in my opinion. I love watching them.
Alright, question for dBPony. How do you create music? Is it spontaneous, or does it take a while to come up with music, with lyrics and other stuff? Also, do you ever get musician's block? And if you do, do you wait it off, or do you try to make something? And that's asked by AK Shamu.
I've gotten this question before. The process for writing music is random all the time. I've never sat down once and thought I'm gonna write a song and then written a song like step by step. It comes to me in either the form of just a riff or a random doodle that I had, and then I build on that. Sometimes the song will come to me the moment that it comes, and I'll just have a full song in like about an hour. But it depends. Once I get an idea, I start building on it, and the more I build on it, the better it becomes. And I make tweaks here and there, and then I prepare it for recording. As far as a musician's block goes, I can't say I've ever really had musician's block because I don't really force myself to write anything. It all comes to me. And when it does, the inspiration alone is enough for me to complete a tune. I do have advice for people who do have musician's block, though, because I've had a lot of people tell me that they have had it. Don't force yourself to write anything, and listen to a lot of music, because inspiration comes from the people that you look up to. And that's where a lot of ideas and a lot of new songs come from. A lot of music nowadays is a lot of innovation instead of invention. So don't be afraid to listen to your favorite artists and get inspiration from them.
All right.
Can I pause for 1 second?
No.
So
Yes.
I'm sorry. I caught this in the chat.
I saw it too.
Diet Kike, is that really you? And I won't take too much time pausing here. I'm just curious, because if it is, then I'm gonna be like a little bit of a fangirl. It probably isn't. Never mind. Back on topic. What's your question, Paleo, from Tumblr?
Okay. Anyway, this question is from Hirasashi. Matt, did you get your inspiration for your songs from Green Day? Also, never stop making music.
We'll talk later here, Sashi. But to seriously answer the question, I listen to Green Day very, very little. In fact, I have never listened to a Green Day album all the way through. So the fact that my music sounds a little bit like Green Day is of pure coincidence. I've heard a couple of Green Day songs, but I've never once in my life listened to it and been like, yeah, this is a rockin' tune. I'm gonna keep listening to this. This is awesome. So, I mean, nah, I don't get too much inspiration from Green Day. I mean, it might be sprinkled in there somewhere. I'm not gonna deny that. As far as stopping making music or anything like that, I don't plan on stopping.
All right. Favorite non-Cutie Mark Crusader pony. That is by Gavin.
Rainbow Dish.
Yeah!
I don't care, Faber. Shut up.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm glad it's not Twilight. Deal with it, Paleo. Yeah, let it burn.
I like Rainbow Dash a lot because she's one of those characters that kind of reminds me that that doesn't really remind me, but it's adorable when people try to act tougher than they really are. I don't know why, but to me that's just like one of the cutest things in the world. And no matter how tough she tries to act, it just kind of raises the daw factor. And I don't know, I find the responses funny. Like I kind of imagine like someone would keep telling her she gets cuter as she gets angrier, and she just gets frustrated and like just leaves. She just seems like that kind of character to me, and that's why I really like her. I just think it's
You do realize you kicked the dragon in the face, right? I'm tough. Prove it. I just kicked a dragon in the face.
Oh, here's an interesting question by Shadow Paint the Artist. What is your writing style? Do you write the music first or the lyrics? Oh, and because of you, I named my dog Sweetie Bill. I got her the same week your song came out. Keep up the great work.
Well, thank you. That's the thing. I was talking to somebody recently about this. What was the first part of the question? Just repeat that.
What is your writing style? Do you write the music first or the lyrics?
The music usually comes first all the time. Because when I come up with a riff or a melody, I'll keep building on it, and then I'll start improvising, singing over that melody, and as I improvise singing, I start jotting down lyrics. So I don't write the song and then sit down and write lyrics, like, because I think that's the wrong approach to writing lyrics. I don't sit down and think I gotta write lyrics. I use my voice as an instrument and I improvise over the melody of the topic I want to sing about, and I write the lyrics that way. In a way, it's the same approach of writing guitar riffs, only you're doing it with your voice. I think it's a more practical way to approach it.
Actually, I heard a quote today, and I'm not sure if you can be like, thumbs up like this quote, but it said, to artists and people who create, do not force yourself to be inspired, and don't go seeking inspiration. Just create things that excite you.
I liked that post.
That was a Tumblr quote I read, yeah.
Yeah, I liked that, as a matter of fact. I thought that was a good quote.
I forget who said that, but it was a really good quote. I think it was Stephen Hawkins who said that. I forget. No, I'm joking. All right, Paleo, got another question?
Yeah. Here's a couple. Let's see. There's a couple of, one for you and a couple for me that were asked earlier. One by Equestria Talk asking if they'd be interested in setting up a time for an interview. Maybe during this month and next month, I'm going to be really busy with Saber, working on the finished parts of the documentary. But I don't know. Probably sometime in the near future. And then also, I'm getting some questions about my episode review because I haven't put it out Wednesday, like I've been planning on. But this one's been a bit different because it's the Return of Trixie, and I really want to try to think on it a bit more. But I do have most of the rough draft done, so I should have that out tomorrow. And this is for Saber.
Yes.
Earlier, Brony. What?
I said yes.
On an earlier Brony breakdown, you mentioned your first face-to-face confrontation with someone who said it's wrong to like My Little Pony, but you cut your discussion by saying we should be better bronies. What you said was really inspiring, but I would still like to know what happened to the guy.
I'm trying to remember.
Or what happened with that guy.
Alright, so it was the face-to-face one with the old guy from that lesson of the project? Is that what you're talking about?
I think that's who they're talking about.
Alright, so can you repeat the question one more time?
Crap. No, because I deleted it.
Alright, so the question was, you talked about your first confrontation face-to-face. Alright, the only thing I really remember is it was after my PowerPoint presentation for the SGA, and, no, GSA, I'm sorry. And I thought I told the entire story. The guy just looked really down on bronies and thought it was a bunch of people who were making a bigger deal out of something that shouldn't be a big deal, and that my reasoning for it was, I guess, crooked. And I respectfully disagreed and reasoned with him afterwards, and he was a nice guy, and he gave me his card so I can talk to him in case I want a devil's advocate opinion, which, hey, let's be honest, it's always good to look on both sides of the story before just blindly going into something. Because I do think that that's one thing about our documentary is we want to make sure that we're not pandering to just bronies. We want to go from a analytical point of view where we can just say, okay, or I guess there's lots of different points of views, but we want to be as unbiased as we possibly can because, well, we're not making this to be defensive or justify bronies as much as just kind of give you an explanation of who they are and what they do. So that guy gave me something to think about. Actually, I think my greatest criticism isn't from people praising my work as much as people saying this is garbage. And I'll be like, okay, tell me why. And if they give me a good answer, I'll definitely take it into account.
Yeah.
Rant off. Sorry.
Okay, another question for Matt. Are there any more character-based songs you have planned?
Most of them are going to be character-based. So I do have a couple planned at the moment. I have a lot of music prepared. That's the thing. I have a lot of music prepared, and I have characters attached to the music. I have to kind of develop and write the lyrics and all that good stuff. But I do have character-based songs planned for the future. as well as maybe one or two that are based on bronies in general. So those will be fun to look out for.
Yay! I look forward to hearing those.
Yay!
See, a lot of musicians, unfortunately, make a good song, and that's about it, but you keep them coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That'd be $10 now.
Okay.
My compliments are not...
That's the second time I've heard that today.
That'd be $10 now.
Really?
Some guy at work today, like, touched my hip. It was really creepy, and then he said, give me $10.
Wow.
He said, you're very handsome. I was like, oh, thanks. He goes, yeah, now that's $10. And I was like, oh, righty then.
Grandpa, please, stop it. Grandpa. Give me $20. All right, let's do about 2 more questions, and let's wrap this up in about 4 minutes, all right?
Okay.
All right, fire away.
Let's see, what song has been your favorite project to make?
It would have to be the latest one, Miles. Because I got to work with somebody else on it, and it was definitely an experience I haven't been through before. I mean, there was very little social interaction between me and Ellie Monty, who was the actual person who sang on the track. We communicated only when we needed to, but just working with someone else and getting something done in that manner was very unique. And at the end of the day, when the product came out, I thought it sounded great. I was very proud of it, and I liked the way the mixing came out. So I was very, very proud of that song. It's probably one of my favorites.
All right. Now,
Did you like working with her, by the way? I just want to toss that. I just want to ask a question.
Huh? What was that?
Did you like working with her?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And whenever she's free again in the future, if I have need for something that she's great at doing, I'll be sure to keep her in mind again, because she's fantastic. She's also very lovely, so.
Awesome.
all right. Last question. Are you going to write any non-pony related songs?
I do. A lot, actually. I've been debating whether or not to really bring that up. It's one of those things where I might create another channel for it. I'm not sure yet. I'm still planning on that. I've written a lot of songs that are not pony related. Some of them of which I actually really want to record at some point, which I might start doing actually relatively soon. So, I mean, if any of you guys are really interested in that, you just go to my Tumblr and drop me a question and just express some interest or something, because it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently. It would be nice to have some reassurance.
Let's do one more question. Actually, I have a question of my own that just. Oh no, there it is. Okay, Matt, are you going to any conventions that are coming up for the summertime?
Absolutely. I plan to attend as many as I possibly can. I plan on going to BronyCon, the one in Baltimore. I still need to make my arrangements for that, but I do plan on going to that. I'm also going to be a featured guest at Sweet Apple Con in Nashville, Tennessee, so if any of you are going to that, look forward to me over there. I'm thinking about going to Clydesdale Congress in Washington, D.C. I am not sure. I have to get more clear details on that. And any other con that I'm able to attend that I can squeeze into my time frame, I'll definitely try to attend. So, but yeah, I do plan on making it to conventions in the future. So, just keep an eye out for those.
Have you ever performed live before?
Absolutely, many, many times. I've been in quite a few bands in my musical career.
So performing at a Brony convention just wouldn't phase you then? You'd be like, okay, it's another performance.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't phase me really much at all. I performed in front of a lot of big crowds in a lot of different bands.
Well, wouldn't he get you on stage one of these days then? I mean, hey, I know there's a lot of electronic musicians here in the fandom, so it gets a little bit of a mix-up. I know Tar performs live and the Beetle Bronies, but I would love to see you perform live.
Thank you. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I would get, the line, like a good lineup. I might do an acoustic performance maybe at 1 or 2 cons, but if there's enough room and I get enough musicians to rehearse, I definitely want to perform these songs live in their full glory.
Awesome. All right. Let's do one more Tumblr. I can't talk. Let's do one more Tumblr question. We'll wrap it up.
All right. That's been asked. That's been asked.
Wait a second.
Oh, what?
Okay, I actually have a request. So, Matt, all right, you're the Joker, and you just recently discovered some pony dressed up as
Oh yeah.
as
there was actually somebody named Mare-Duel in the chat earlier. I'm not sure if they're in here anymore because I think they left after the content. But yeah, there was somebody named Mare-Duel in the chat earlier.
Well, that's fascinating. I've never seen people in the chat before named after ponies from the show. Like, that's extremely rare. Thank you for telling us that, Paleo. Cool. Wait, nope. There's a guy there named Jack Frost. I thought it was Lauren Faust. My bad. I'm getting overexcited now.
What?
But all right, Matt. All right.
Are you being condescending to me?
No, but Matt, do it. Do your impersonation. All right. Here, I'll set it up. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have a pony dressed up as a Joker, got a knife in his hand, walking around, and then you see this Mare-Duel pony sitting in a chair. Matt, take it away.
Alrighty.
I'm putting you on the spot.
You're definitely putting me on the spot, but okay.
Tell them your name.
Mare-Duel.
Are you a real Mare-Duel?
I forget the actual scene from the movie, so I kind of forget the.
No! Then why do you dress up like her?
I think this actually needs a little bit of explanation. All right, ladies and gentlemen. A few nights ago, Matt, Paley and I were just joking around talking about Mare-Duel and how she's like the Batman. And we thought, well, wouldn't it be funny if there was a Joker pony who caught Mare-Duel or somebody who impersonated like her and then just took that scene from The Dark Knight and just totally like freak her out? And I think, don't they kill that person at the end?
Yeah.
Doesn't that person like hit a side of a building with a rope wrapped around his neck?
He hangs the guy from Leadville.
So we'll hang him from the tower in Ponyville, I suppose,
Christ.
or Manhattan, or whatever it's called.
Some grim fanfic stuff right there.
I will find an animator who will make this happen. All right, I think that's about it then. Matt, is there anything you want to tell our viewers here for things coming up, or anything you want to say? Like, you know, any websites that you would check out for your SoundCloud, or
yeah. Just if anyone here has any questions that you didn't get to ask me, I am really active on my Tumblr. So I mean, and you can ask anonymous questions. I really don't care. Just go on. Feel free to ask me anything. Maybe
There's the Tumblr right there.
Oh yeah, the Tumblr's been like, well, thank you, Paley. You're such a gentleman. This is why I like you. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, throw them over there. Other than that, just stay tuned for more stuff. I'm very busy most of the week. I work 44 hours a week at my job, so I'll try my best to get to these questions or to keep releasing new content. But I mean, thanks a lot for the support, and it means an immense amount to me. It was more than I ever could have hoped for. So definitely thanks, and just keep an eye out for future stuff. And I love you all.
Awesome.
Oh.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for chatting with us. We look forward to seeing your work in the future, and hopefully seeing you more active and performing live at the conventions. So, thank you for giving to this fandom and making awesome music.
And thank you for having me on the show. I watch it every Thursday night. I look forward to it all the time.
Well, I don't look forward to it at all.
Well, fine, then I'll just,
I don't even watch the show. No, but no, thank you. I appreciate your viewership. It means a lot to us.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey.
Hello.
So, first question.
Yes.
Why are you here?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't really know who I am.
Oh. Well then.
Yeah. Who are you?
I don't know either. I forgot. This isn't funny.
No. I was gonna go into this long, elaborate joke about how maybe King Candy just erased all of our memories and locked it up because we're actually living in a video game world, but I don't know. That's just me being really into the movie.
How many times have you seen that movie now?
In the past 3 days, I think I watched it once a night in the past 3 days.
Really?
Yep.
Is this going to be another Bolt obsession?
I don't know. You know about my Bolt obsession, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was fantastic, and I think this is going to be another one. But actually, it was kind of funny because I was all day at work. It was funny because it was making my coworkers wonder what was going on with me. Every time I would leave after I was done with a discussion, I would go turboplastic, and I would just leave. And they'd be like, "Matt, what is wrong with you?" And I'd be like, "Huh, none." But actually, it's kind of interesting because I was at work and I was like looking at some fan art for Wreck-It Ralph, and I was thinking to myself, wow, you know something? It'd be really awesome if I recorded a song for that movie. Like I really like Turbo's character, like King Candy's character, and I think there's a lot of good potential to write a really dark song about him. So I've been thinking about it. I don't know. I'll have to see. I got some cool little ideas today while I was sitting down. And I thought, wow, I was like, I should write a song about Turbo. Yeah. At the beginning of it, you just hear Turboplastic, and it just begins.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I would love to do that. It'd be really funny. Let's see what we got here.
Did you know there's already plans for a sequel?
I'm back.
How do you sequel a movie like that? Hi.
Oh. Hey, Matt. How you doing?
I'm good. I cleaned up my room in 1 hour when I got home today. I don't know why.
Because you're well kempt and cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Took that as a yes. Well, thank you for coming on the show again. Even though I completely forgot that you were on the show beforehand, so I thought, oh, this is the first time we'll have Matt on the show. And then the audience had to correct me, and they were like, no, you had him before. And I'm like, oh, I must have been drunk. Well, I want to ask you about... I'm sorry, go ahead. Well, I was going to say, what I want to ask you about is the convention you went to recently, CloudStoCon. To know that was your first real Brony convention, if I'm correct. And you also performed live there, so go ahead and tell us all about it.
Alright, well, I wasn't sure what to expect when I got there, to be honest, because I knew this was going to be a smaller con, but it actually turned out to be a little bit bigger than I expected. It was a bit interesting for me because it gave me a lot to think about. All in all, though, as soon as I got there, as soon as I parked my car, Gainey, who was one of the organizers, came up to me and he showed me around. He showed me what was gonna, happen, where was where and stuff like that. And the entire staff was really friendly, really, really well organized. They had everything under control, even when there wasn't any people there. There was only a few people there, and a few people when I arrived there, about 4 people, knew who I was when I got there. So it was interesting to just have people come up to me and be like, "Oh, hey, I really love your music," and it's like, "Oh, okay, hi." The entire con was just interesting. I liked it.
Any autographs at all?
Yes, in fact, before any of my performances, I signed about 2 or 3 autographs. But after my performances, especially my acoustic one, I had 5 people ask for autographs immediately after. And I had a couple more ask for autographs. But I think the 2 most humbling autographs that I gave that the entire duration of the con were autographs to little kids. And it was, I don't know, it melted my heart. It really did, because I was like, oh, what is this? It's just like, a little kid coming up to you and holding up a little poster, and it's like, are you like, ah! I was like, I didn't even know what to think. I was just like, my heart was melting. I was like, look at the little cult. I just want to,
But
Wait. Wait. I almost confused what you said for another word.
Hmm?
You said
Okay.
cult, right?
Yes, I said cult. Jesus Christ.
You have
Look
a
at the little cult.
following. Oh, look at their burning witches. Oh, they're wearing goat heads. But this was your first Brony convention, correct?
Yes, it was.
So what were the highlights besides the autographs and things like that? What were some of the, I guess, highlights of your trip?
The first highlight of the trip was meeting Draft.
Oh God, not here, not now.
Meeting Final Draft was the first highlight of the trip because when I first arrived, I didn't really know what to do, and I was kind of anxious when I arrived, to be honest, because whenever I arrive, I don't know anybody, but people know me. I don't know. I get paranoid, so I kind of locked myself in my hotel room, and that's when I contacted you, and I was like, I feel so out of place. And you were like, "Oh, Final Draft is there. I'll bug him for you." And I was like, "No, don't." But anyway, that was when I texted him, and he wound up texting me back, and he was like, "What room you in?" And I was like, 412. And he came up to my room, and it looked like it was just him at first. And he was like, "Oh, hey." He goes, "You're just gonna lock yourself in there and not let anyone see you?" And I was like, "No, I have a bad habit of locking locks." And he was like, "Oh, well, hey, I got a couple of the people over here. If you don't mind, bring them in." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, bring them in. I'm just gonna put my guitar down." I freaking turn around after I put my guitar down, and like 10 people start piling in my room. And I'm like, "This is a couple of people? Jesus!"
Typical Final Draft. He always has an entourage when he goes to these things. Seriously, there will always be a small crowd following around Final Draft. It's kind of like, imagine him as a baleen whale, and everybody else is kind of like the cleaner fish coming after him to feed on his like parasites. Wow, that came off as a very mean insult, to be honest. I don't care. All right, so tell us more about.
Saber, you're fired.
I hope he's listening. Skip our Final Draft to a baleen whale. All right. So yeah, it was nice meeting him. What other people did you meet there that you were like, wow, I'm really happy I met this person, or it was nice, cool? It was cool talking to them online and getting the chance to meet them. Were there any other folk?
Yes, particularly the group that I hung around the most. I hung out with P1K, or Pony One Kenobi. His real name's Dylan. I finally got to meet him, and I loved hanging around him and meeting him. And he actually he gave me a lot to think about after the con. He really kind of changed my perspective on what a Brony is, and how being involved in the community kind of changes people. He really had an impact on me when I went there. It was him, Danny Brony, who another great guy. I got to meet Pony One Kenobi's brother. He was really, really cool. Cyril Wolf, got to meet him. Excellent guy. Whitetail, got to meet him. Another great guy. I got to meet Coconero. He was interesting. He was interesting. I got to hang out with him a little bit. He was at his artist alley table for most of the time, but very interesting guy. We walked around DC looking for a restaurant, and we were just like, why is there no restaurants? This place sucks. Yeah, for the most part, I hung out with that group. As you know, or as you don't know, I drove I Be a Brony Rapper with me from New York all the way up, so I spent some time with him. Who else did I hang out with for most of the time there? And Draft. I hung out with Draft for a little while, and Oh, I guess another highlight of the trip would be meeting the Creevers.
I was just about to ask that, actually.
Yeah, I got to meet the Creevers, and I didn't get to talk to what's her name?
Michelle?
I think
Monique.
No, Monique. Yeah, I didn't get to talk to Monique. I got to talk to Michelle, and I got to talk to Michael. And I spoke to Michael more than any one of them because we just got into talking about his gear and his keyboard and stuff. And he's a blast. I thought he was the most friendly guy, and it was just excellent. I loved it. I was trying to meet him again the next day, but I didn't get to see them again because I woke up because of the hour difference, so that kind of sucked. But it was wonderful meeting them. Very lovely family, very friendly, very involved with the community. So it was quite a treat. I absolutely loved meeting them.
Excellent. You had a good time then. How about panels? You got any panels at all?
I was going to jump on the musicians panel, but I actually decided not to because for the majority of the fandom, like for the majority of the con that I wasn't doing anything, I was practicing with Pony One Kenobi and Danny Brony for their set. So I was in a hotel room practicing, and then there was my acoustic set that I practiced for and, wrote set lists for and whatnot. But, what was the question again?
How about the performance? How did the performance go?
My acoustic performance went fine. It went pretty good.
In fact, we have a video of it right now.
Want to show it?
Yeah, we can show it to the stream.
Let's do that. Can you look it to me here in the Skype?
Yeah, I just did.
Excellent.
But yeah, we can take a look at a little bit of it.
We'll do about a minute and a half here. All right.
Just make sure you put it on 720 because the quality's horrible if you don't.
We'll do that then.
I don't know what that black thing is in front of me. I think it's a projector, but I thought it was an Xbox at first.
Ha! It does look like one.
Oh my god.
Turbo-tastic!
What's Turbo doing in this game? Turbo-tastic! Hello, Ralph! Oh, I can't even do his voice. I don't even know if that was a proper quote from the movie. I'm just gonna stop. Wreck-It Ralph, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, y'all ready to watch this?
Yep.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
I've waited far too long for my one moment to shine, to show them all that I'm not like the other that beside. But you are told that you are not what they expected. If you cannot push your limits, how do you expect to leave them? In the end, you will finally realize. I can see it in your eyes. Count your stars and all the dreams, and take off to the sky. Shut out all of the doubts and forget what you've been told. 'Cause this is what it'll take to be a wonderbolt. So many times I try to show that I'm a reader. Hold my head out from the clouds to show them all I'm not a dreamer. Spinning around just to be ahead. We've been pushing everyone back in the dust. Show them all everything I've done.
I love this song.
In the end, you will finally realize. I can see it in your eyes. Count your stars and all the dreams, and take off to the sky. Shut out all of your doubts. Forget what you've been told. 'Cause this is what it will take to be a wonderbolt.
We'll go ahead and pause it right there. Man, Matt, you rocked it! Were you
Thank
nervous?
you.
Were you nervous at all?
Actually, at first it was kind of funny because when I went into the room, there was actually not a whole lot of people in there. So I was all like, oh, all right. I'm like, I wasn't really expecting there to be a whole lot of people. But I was like, all right. So I decided to perform a Sweetie Belle first. And after I got done with the song, I looked up and the room was full. And I went, oh, well, where did you all come from?
Well, looky there. Your music built an audience. Didn't even need to start off with one. That's a sign that you're doing something right, man. If I
It was.
go ahead.
I was gonna say it was just interesting. Actually, I think the best part about doing that little concert, that little show was the second song and then Wonderbolt, because I sung Miles for the second song, and when I started playing that and I started singing it, everyone in the room started clapping the rhythm, and some people were singing the lyrics, and I was like, I've never had people do that with any of my songs before.
Wait till BronyCon, and wait. If
Yeah.
I'm correct, there's Sweet Apple Acres Con you're going to, correct?
Yeah, I've already been announced as a guest there, so
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll meet for the first time there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Of most epic proportions. And then BronyCon, which will be like enormous. So, and if I'm correct, you're getting a team together for that one too, right?
Yes, I got one of my old guitarists in the band that plays drums. He's insane, and he's already looking forward to it. So I've already got a fantastic drummer on board. So I mean, if any of you are going to BronyCon and you're going to be able to see my performance, it's going to be really powerful. So I mean, definitely look forward to that because I'm going to be putting my all into that one.
Do you need a tambourine player? If you need a tambourine player, I don't want to brag, but I got the hips to make that thing sing.
If I give you a triangle, you got to hit it at the end of my set.
I will. Get out. Ding.
just run out onto the stage and just like with a straight face, just go bing in the microphone.
Or if you really want to do it right, you have some people cosplay as Wonderbolt cadets and run up there, and Monty can do her things like, "You be a Wonderbolt, you would have been one by now." Yes, ma'am. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be really funny. I think it'd be funny if I had you like in the suit with like a basket of flowers and skip out on stage and start throwing.
No, the Wonderbolt thing though, I think that would be really cool if you can pull that off. I mean, that might be a bit more of a hassle than it's worth, but I'm sure you can find people to do that for you. I'm up for it. If you are looking for anybody who's interested, but no, but I look forward to seeing your performance both at Suit Up Like Your Con and BronyCon, which is gonna be both awesome.
They're gonna be great.
On that note, then, let's open up for questions. Then, Paleo.
All right, we got like 63 messages in here, so
let's do it then. We got about, I think, 20. Let's do 30 minutes. We'll do 30 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do 30 minutes.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, question for dBPony. If you've watched it, what were your thoughts on the season 3 finale?
What was that again?
Your thoughts on the season 3 finale?
The show's called Milo
okay.
Pony. Milo Pony.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
I'm stupid. Sorry. I don't know. I had a brain fart. It was. I liked it. I think really my main like gripe with it was that I felt for an episode of such significance, I guess it should have had a little more time. Like I felt maybe they should have done what they did with the season 2 finale, made it a 2-parter. But I guess that would have kind of interfered and made it a bit harder to make it a musical, as I guess whoever in the team decided to make that decision. They wanted the episode to be more musical. So I like the songs. The songs are great. I just thought that the episode should have had a little more time to maybe drag on and maybe be a little bit better. I don't know. I don't have a good word. I liked the episode. I thought it was good. It wasn't great. Like I still think the season 2 finale was like way better. I felt like I was watching like the actual wedding of royalty. This one just kind of felt like end of season. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. I think that was a rejected title for the actual episode. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I have wings. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
But from what they said on Twitter, Megan McCarthy, she said that there's supposed to be, it technically is a 2-parter, but it's connected with the next season, so we'll see what happens. I do agree with you. The season 2 finale was much better. It felt just broader scale. It felt huge and big and awesome. That's just my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Paley, you got any input for that? Or next question?
What?
Next question?
Okay. Yeah. From the loyal Brony, you mentioned that P1K changed your perspective of what a Brony is and the community itself. How so?
Because I had never really, I had never really seen him in person. I mean, I've seen pictures and all that, but I never really, like, got to see his attitude and his persona and, face to face. And I watched he never really noticed, and this might be creepy, but shut up. I kind of, if I wasn't hanging out with anybody, I was walking around kind of thinking to myself. And there were times where I had kind of ran into him with others, or doing something with, a performance or something like that. And I would always kind of stand back and just sort of watch. And he would always be so energetic and so, with everybody and, making, he just had a lot of charisma and he was like the morale. He was almost like Pinkie Pie away in a sense, I guess. And I never really hung out with any other Brony in New York. So watching everybody there and then watching him kind of like interact with everybody, it just kind of made me think to myself like, wow, it's just amazing how close he is with everyone and how just just how deep he is with the community, and I was just like, that's something I could really admire, because I mean at the time I was questioning like how deep am I with the community, like how involved am I with everybody, and just watching him and how excited and how much fun he was having, and you know when we had to say goodbye and he like hugged me, it felt like the most genuine, awesome hug, and I was just like, this guy is really amazing, and he really changed the way I thought about the community. I think he really he did me a lot of good in that con. So if he's listening, I love you.
Dang, I don't even watch the show, and you're like really into this stuff. I'm just messing. That's really cool, though. I mean, this entire My Little Pony and Brony stuff, it can take its toll on a person's thoughts and what's I'm looking for, philosophy and all that stuff. So yeah, at least you got to vent it out with some people, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question.
Question to all.
Yes. Next question.
Who is your favorite Cutie Mark Crusader?
Who?
Who is your favorite CMC?
I'm not going first. Someone else go first.
Scootaloo.
Yeah, I knew your answer was Scootaloo. My answer used to be Scootaloo, but now it's Apple Bloom.
Traitor.
What?
I like Babseed. Oh, yeah! What up? Nowhere. What's up?
Well, technically she is in the CMC.
Oh, I'm putting my hipster glasses on. What's up, guys? Babseed. I'm gonna. What are you gonna do? Contact the local authorities and tell your mothers. No, checkmate. She's got us where she wants us. That episode when she said that to Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. I felt like that. I felt kind of corny. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Beat him up? No. Tell you about your mother is about your bad attitude. And Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon were like, not that. No, our moms are dead. All right, but seriously, let's move on. Paleo, you haven't said. Yeah, you said Apple Bloom. Never mind.
Yeah, I said Apple Bloom.
All right.
Yeah, because she's like the Twilight of the CMC.
She really is, and she's got more episodes than like.
And she smacks the other two when they're dumb.
She does.
Like in Ponyville Confidential, she smacks them with a newspaper.
All right, next question.
Okay, wait, did you say who you were? Oh, you said
Babsy,
Babsy.
what's
But-
up?
Are you dumb? Where have you been?
Are you stupid, Paleo? Typical Confederate scallywag. Because you don't like the Yankee.
Oh, here's a question for us.
What's up?
By us, I mean me and Saber.
And not you,
Matt, go away. Okay, what will part one of the documentary, the Brony documentary, focus on?
Want me to answer that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, I am the writer for that part, well, for most of the documentary, and I wanted to focus. But of course, Paleo was always consulting with me, so we work together. But part one is about the origins of My Little Pony as a franchise, its generations for creation, and then the rise of the Bronies via the internet with 4chan, and then their success as a viral sensation. That's part one, pretty much.
Their success is a super virus.
The super virus. They take over the entire internet. But that is part one. So it's Hasbro, G4, and then 4chan and Bronies and things like that. So we didn't want to overload it. That's why we broke the document up into different parts. Because part two is about the community aspects and different parts of that, like PMVs and animation, fanfics, and music. And then part three is the social science of Bronies, which is going to be more of the new territory one that hopefully will... I hope a lot of you will still watch it. I think it's more... it's definitely more academic, but it's very interesting. But yeah, there's the answer.
Yeah, and we have people making shiny stuff for it, so that'll entertain people.
Yes, sir. All right.
Which you might be seeing some of that later this month, but yeah.
Trailers and teasers and all that good stuff. We got an awesome team. All right, next question.
Okay, I guess this one's directed towards you, Saber.
Yes, go ahead.
What are some strange culture shocks you experienced while in Vegas?
Oh, okay. Prostitution was legal. I knew there was prostitution there, but I didn't realize that it was like, what's up? It's legal. What's going on? The people there were very shady. The casinos were very complex and just all over the place. Yeah, it's Sin City in every sense of the word. Yeah, I felt slimy there. I wouldn't go back. unless someone like paid my waist. Well, Unicon, but I wouldn't go back. I preferred Los Angeles, and I preferred Secaucus and all those other places much more. They're much better locations. Las Vegas is not a good place for a Brony convention. I'm surprised there wasn't a Brony getting mugged or something there, or bet all their plushie money on red. It was definitely an experience, but one I probably wouldn't want to go back to. All right, that's my answer.
Okay. Oh, here's another one for you.
Okay.
Has an OC for your Lightning Hoof persona been made?
Yeah, Monty made one for me. The video, she actually made a little visual video for it, but it's not complete yet, so I can't really say anything about it. But keep your eyes open. She will probably finish it sooner or later. I don't know. She's a busy lady. I gotta say, while we're on the topic of OCs, Matt, I do love your OC. And if I'm correct, you were the one who drew the art up for that, right?
Yes, sir.
How'd you come up with this design? Because let me find a picture of it. All right. If you have a picture of it on standby, throw it my way, because I think you have a really cool OC.
Blah, 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 blah.
Let's see what Doodle's got here. Oh, there we go. Wow, right there. That is Matt's pony right there. Oh, man. I gotta say, you and Paleo have really cool OCs, and mine's garbage. I fully realize now how horrible my OC is currently. Yeah, it is. Oh, Vital Scratch's brother with wings. Like, oh, that's me. Yeah, I like the color blue. But how'd you come up with the designs for your OC?
I remember the entire process, and it's actually kind of funny. One day I just kind of wanted to draw a pony, so I drew up that very picture, the one the very first one that you saw. I drew it up in SAI, and at first it was just the black outlines, the hair, the the face, the body, and I was like, this pony looks really self-confident. And I stared at it, and I was like, you know what? I need an OC for my music endeavors, so let's go ahead and make him. So, I guess it was at that point I decided red hair, pink highlights, pinkish fur, and blue eyes, and then I had to come up with my cutie mark, which was a more involved process. But 1, 2, 3, there's my pony. It's not an interesting story.
At least you got a cutie mark. I still haven't decided on mine. Seriously. I think I'm the only blank flake in the entire fandom. But no, I do like your OC. It's pretty cool. And I think it's amazing that you sing like you do and draw art as well. It's not freaking fair. Hog all the time to yourself. We're like, we're podcasters! And you're like, oh, I'm actually an artist and a musician. Get on my level. And we're like, oh. Alright, next question.
Okay, let's see. dBPony, have you ever considered working with anybody? And if so, yes, I already know about Prince whatever. Oh, and if so, who?
Oh, whew. I mean, are we like kind of like sticking with musicians or just people in general?
I guess anybody. They did say anybody.
The people who I've wanted to work with, I am currently working with now. I am not going to tell you who it is, because it's going to be in secrecy until you see what it is I'm working on. That's all I'm going to say.
It's me.
Yeah!
I'm joking.
Wonderbolt Part 2!
Fail bolts, the guys who get into the league. You need wings. I know.
I'm gonna read this question because it's offensive.
Go right ahead. Why not?
It's offensive to me, at least.
Okay. So
and to Matt.
So well, I guess I wonder what it's about then. Go right ahead.
Oh, gee.
My least favorite Brony musicians are General Mumble, All Levels at Once, and dBPony, in that order. From horrible to not as horrible. Aviators is the best Brony musician. He deserves more subs and views and credit for all he does. My question is, should fame matter in the community?
I think this person should be famous. My question to you, is fame important?
Doesn't Aviators already have more subs than all of those? I think so. He has more than Mumble. Yeah, I think.
I'm not going to dignify that question with a response.
Oh, I'll do it for you. Now, to each their own. There you go. There's your answer. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, and even though yours is wrong, it's all good. I'm not to say that Aviators is a bad musician. He's a great guy. I love his songs, but you know, let's not be ridiculous or anything. You all suck compared to my music.
I can never be on your level. Sarah.
I made a song, and people forget that. I was so flabbergasted during the top 100 songs on EFN of the year for Brony songs. I'm like, mine didn't even get a freaking nomination. Wow. I was devastated. You know what's funny is I was gonna mention this too. When I was watching the video with you playing the guitar and performing live, I used to play the piano back in the day, horribly bad. Back when I was like in like middle school, whatever. And I thought, it'd be so cool if I could play the piano and sing at the same time. Well, here's the problem: I could not play the piano very well. I can play like "Row, Row, Row Your Boat," and that's about it. I'm like, that's it. I'll sing that song. So I'm like, row, row, row. And I'm like messing up on the keys horribly bad, and my mom walked downstairs and she honestly thought that the dog was dying because it was crying so hard. The dog was literally crying at my music. It was rolling on the ground in pain, and she's like, "What are you doing to the dog?" And I'm like, "I'm singing." And she's like, "Oh, well, stop." And then I stopped playing piano after that. But yeah, here's the question actually. How in the world do you multitask like that? Play the guitar and sing at the same time? Is it just practice or repetition or a bit of both or what? Well, it's the same thing, I guess.
It's practice. It's hard. It is hard at first because you're trying to tell your brain to do two things at once. It's especially hard if you're trying to play bass guitar and sing at the same time, like Geddy Lee, because you're singing a melody whilst maintaining a rhythm. That's hard to do, believe it or not. It's practice. It really is. I mean, if you've got a sense, if you've got a sense of rhythm and you know how to play and stuff like that, you know how to sing, whatever, then you're on your, you're already on a good, start. But it is just practice. So,
here's a question that's actually related to that. dBPony, were you always talented when it came to singing, or was it something you developed over time? Like, did you have a different way of singing when you were younger or something?
I definitely was not at the skill level I am at now, like 3 years ago. I mean, in fact, if at the end of the video, when I might link my Tumblr. My most recent video was a concert I performed with the band I was in 3 years ago. It was the most atrocious thing. It's funny, atrocious though. I did have a different singing style back then. I didn't have a very developed singing style because I didn't really have any inspiration back then for vocals. I just kind of sang with my voice like, But then I found inspiration for singing, and I started, developing my vocals and singing whenever I can. And I still feel like I have a long ways to go. I kind of want to get some vocal coaching or something like that. But I never was always good, and nobody is ever always good. It's time, it's dedication, it's a lot of. You got to motivate yourself to just keep practicing. And as long as you're having fun while doing it, you'll get somewhere. So.
Very well said. All right.
Okay.
Next question.
Let's see. Oh, I suppose this is a question directed towards you. Will you ever upload anything non-Pony? Which I believe you already have in December.
Yeah, my Escape to the City cover.
Yeah.
Yes, and I do have plans to upload things non-Pony in the future. Yes, whether it be an original song that I write or maybe a song made for another cartoon. Like I explained before that I kind of had an idea for for a Turbo song.
Turbo-tastic?
From yeah, Turbo-tastic, yeah. Turbo-tastic! But yeah, I do plan on releasing original songs and songs not related to MLP. Break out the hatchets and burn down the barns, yeah.
Burn this barn, burn this barn.
Wow.
Can never escape it. Alright, next question.
This is weird. Okay. This is from AC.
We're a bunch of 20-year-olds talking about ponies. What part of this isn't weird?
Oh, I don't know. AC Speed Demon S at dBPony. If you were to play against Saber in a game of badminton, would you beat him so badly that he would not be able to air it on the news because of its possible brutality, or would you get bored and use your racket as a weapon and KO Saber?
It's a good question. Well thought out question too. Matt, this one's all yours.
I love badminton. Whew. Gee.
Can't spell badminton without bad.
Yeah.
Or mittens.
Gee. Are you good at badminton, Saber?
What sports?
Okay.
No, I actually think badminton's a lot of fun. To be perfectly honest, it's like a fatter version. It's like a lazy man's version of like tennis. It's like, man, I love hitting this ball around, but golly, it comes down too quickly. Let's make a device where it stays in the air longer, so us fat asses can move from point A to point B and hit it back in time. Yeah, and badminton's born.
I don't know. How about like maybe if you like lost a game of badminton to me, I would duct tape your arms and legs to the wall, have AC Race Best film me like hitting badmintons on you and just having you go, stop it!
Brony's react to Saber getting beaten up by badmintons. All right, we're really branching out on ideas now for the series. Oh God, what a question.
Okay, I have to answer
right
this
ahead.
question because it's from Ninja Dragon Warrior in '69. Not '96, '69.
Classy.
What made you want to watch Kiara the Brave, and have you ever thought of streaming any other bad movies? But yeah, this is a question for us. But Kiara the Brave, Saber like suggested, hey, let's watch this bad movie together. And then like as soon as we were like 5 minutes in, and Saber was like, we gotta stream this. This is so terrible.
It was awful.
Yeah.
I've never seen a worse but funny movie in my entire life. It was so obvious that this was a ripoff of Brave, like to the max. And how the movie itself, when it was first made, Kiara the Brave, it was about some other completely different character called Kay. And then at the very end, when the movie was over, it's like when they were done making the movie, they thought, hey, let's go ahead and go on the tailcoats of Brave and call our movie Kiara the Brave. So yeah, that was a completely cheap, dumb tactic of theirs. Not dumb, but cheap, to say the least. Funny
Cheap
though.
tech, yeah.
They had like Gandalf in there, Jesus was in there, vampires in there,
Yeah, Airbenders.
airbenders.
Well,
kid power,
element, just benders.
lasers, octopus monsters.
Star Wars music, Super Mario RPG music.
They made yeah. Star Wars music was definitely in there. I might even joke. They ripped off John Williams' London Symphony Orchestra from Return of the Jedi. It was ridiculous. Actually, it's if you have the right group of people to watch it with, I recommend watching it. You can riff on that movie so hard.
Yeah, it's like it's so bad that you can make fun of it.
Don't watch it on your own though. You need a person to watch it with.
Yeah, you need someone to make fun of it with. But the other part of the question is, ever thought of streaming / watching any other bad movies? Which we have.
We have, yeah. Well, last week was a good week for us to do that because Paleo had his break off and made the time for it. At the moment, time really isn't on our side, but we'll probably end up doing that throughout the summertime. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll look into it. All right.
Let's see.
Question?
Are you guys going to Counterlot Gardens? Most likely not.
Not me.
I don't have plans to do.
They don't even have funding yet, if I'm correct. So, I mean, compared to Unicon, Counterlot Gardens was a great convention, but I didn't have the most fun there at Counterlot Gardens. It was an okay convention. So I'm not making any plans.
Okay, here's a question from Sorio Star. dBPony, was the guitar your first instrument, and what was your experience with your main instrument or whatever you use?
My first real main instrument was bass guitar. Guitar was actually my second, and I didn't really get into playing guitar until about really seriously get into playing guitar until about a year and a half ago, because up until then it was just a secondary instrument to me that I kind of played. But then I started really getting into the repertoire of the instrument and started wanting to learn more about it. As far as bass guitar goes, that was my first instrument, and it's kind of funny because when I picked it up, I didn't know what it was. I just kind of assumed it was a guitar, but then my friend was like, "Oh, there's 4 strings on it, it's a bass," and I was like, "Oh, well, this is lame." but then I listened to a King Diamond song, It's called The Fatal Portrait, and I heard the bass line in it, and I thought it sounded so cool that I looked at my mom and I said, that is what I want to do. I want to play that. And I nonstop played bass for years after that. When I went to college, it was my instrument of choice for repertoire study. So I played in jazz ensembles, playing bass. I took bass lessons in college. So, and I think it's a great instrument to learn because you get a really good sense of rhythm. It's a great instrument to play because it's the foundation of a lot of music, and you can make anything sound bouncy with that thing. It's just a very powerful and fun instrument to play. I mean, and it's cool. I mean, you tell somebody you play bass, and they're like, "Oh, you slap at the bass." It's the first thing that I hear from anybody. You tell somebody you play guitar, they're like, "Oh, you're cool." No offense to guitarists out there. I mean, but every time I tell people I play guitar, they're always like, "Oh, it's cool." But then once I say, "Oh, I play bass too," they're like, "Oh, you slap at the bass." I'm like, I always hear that.
Well.
All right. Next question.
Okay, I have a couple of questions about cons again. One was a question about, are we coming to Everfree Northwest?
You may answer that one right now.
I want to, but I'll have to see if I can afford it.
Likewise, that is way out of the way. I am from Georgia.
Yeah.
That's in Washington. That's an expensive flight.
I'm
Sucks.
further.
Shut up. All right, Mr. North Carolina. How about you in South Carolina make up and kiss and become the Carolina again? All right, stupid. But no, I probably won't be able to make it to Everfree Northwest, to be perfectly honest. It sucks because that was a great con.
Yeah, it's because of your summer lifeguard thing, right?
Yeah, there's 3 weekends in a row
Where there's a con.
Yep. Fiesta Equestria, Everfree Northwest, and Everfree Northwest.
Yeah.
Then Sweet Apple Acres Con. I can definitely make it a Sweet Apple Acres Con because it's from Nashville's a close drive. Fiesta Equestria, they said they'd help me out, so I'm waiting on that. Everfree Northwest, just too out of the way. Too much.
Yeah, it's in
money.
the middle of that, so.
Can't really do it. So
But I might try going because there are a lot of people there going there that I'd like to see again.
that was a fun con last time.
Yeah, but the other question was about Fiesta Equestria, and yeah, we're gonna be going to that one. We're a special guest for that one.
Yeah, and look, that's more so than Everfree Northwest. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
Thank God it's not like in Hawaii or something.
Brony convention in Hawaii.
Yeah, suck it. Everybody else can just suck it. One in
That would be a
Alaska.
small convention.
Alaskan. Get it? Because, never mind. Alright, next.
Okay, dBPony, will you do more live streaming?
I tried to. I mean, actually, that's a good question. If anybody in the chat actually watches my live streams or would like to watch me live stream, what would be a good time to do that? Because I seem to never live stream at good times at all, and people complain about that. So I mean, that's really it. I mean, I live stream all the time, and whatever I'm recording or decide to play or whatever like that. I mean, I don't know. Live stream 24/7. All right, sure, I'll do that.
Do
okay.
it. Do it right now.
You guys get to see me taking a dookie.
Best live stream ever!
But guys, I'm really constipated. Ah!
So that's how he makes music. The recorder on. I think we have time for one more good question, and then we gotta wrap this up, Halo. So make this one.
Okay, here's a question for dBPony. Are there any instruments that you want to learn how to play?
Yes, there is. I'm thinking about investing in the instrument soon. I kind of wanted to pick up banjo because
Really?
I have an idea. Yep, I have an idea for a song, and actually the idea was pitched to me, and I kind of shared the same idea. So, and I want the song to have more of a country-ish kind of a feel.
And yes.
Hmm?
Is it
It's an Apple Bloom song. Yeah.
Damn, I was gonna guess Applejack.
I have an idea for an Applejack song too. Actually, I thought of it last night because I was watching the family reunion episode, and I thought about how much I didn't like that song, and I thought this episode needs a proper song. But anyway,
Racist Barn?
I do not like that song. It's my least favorite song. But yeah, banjo. that's the instrument that I'm thinking about picking up next. Just because I think it delivers such a country sound to music, and I mean, I know how to play guitar. It can't be that hard, right?
Oh god, that's gonna be good. All right, sweet. Well, I think on that note, we're gonna wrap this episode up, guys. Any closing statements? Any parting words?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, dBPony, you should announce what cons you're gonna be at.
Yep. Right now, there's 2 cons planned for the future that are absolute, confirmed. There's a Sweet Apple Acre Con, which is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm going to be attending that one. And I'm also going to be at BronyCon, and I just been announced for Brony Palooza, so I'm going to be doing a performance there. And like I said before, getting a lot of great musicians to perform that show, so be there. It is going to be so cool. I cannot get that message out there enough. It's going to be really fun. You're going to get to hear all the songs in their entirety. It's going to sound really powerful. So definitely come out of that. As far as any other conventions, I mean, if something comes up and it's convenient, then I will, which is ironic for me to say because Big Apple Con is happening next week, and I do not plan to go to that.
Well, you heard this.
But,
go ahead.
Yep. No, I just wanted to say one more thing. Someone had asked me before about me being, if I had always been, as good as I am now with music. No. And like I said before, a good example is a video on my Tumblr, and I just put it up, and it's really silly, and I look like Jesus with dirty hair. So if you wanna watch that,
So you look like Tarby.
yeah, it's a little bit Tarby if you were wearing really baggy sweatpants and a really lousy red shirt.
I see Jesus with sweatpants now. Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they have done.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus, you wore sweatpants.
My God.
Sorry.
Hey, if you guys want to watch that, it's on my Tumblr. I guess if you know my Tumblr, then go to it. If not, then I guess someone will link it. I don't know.
If you can link it into the Skype chat here, Haley can put it here in the chat log.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Popcorn 897 just linked it there, guys.
All right. Cool. So there you go. That's all I have to say.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you for joining us today. It's been fun, as always. Look forward to seeing you perform at the conventions you just listed, BronyCon and Sweet Apple Acres. Look forward to seeing your future work and everything. And on that note, I think we're going to close it out right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out tonight, and we'll see you all next time.
Turbotastic!
I was waiting for something like that. All right, good to go.